Good evening, everyone. Good evening. This is your host, Dr. Phil. Ready for a fun stream tonight? I have a great show planned. I didn't get a good sleep last night, so I don't think I'm going to be running late tonight, which is why I tried to start just a little bit early, because I've got a feeling, I'm not sure when I'm going to get tired, but when it happens, I'm just going to pass right out. I just know it's going to be one of those nights. But that's not going to be for hopefully at least 2 hours. So until then, let me welcome you fine folks in. Or before I welcome you all in, let me do a little quick introduction of tonight's show. I've got a stream from Rosie, which is really hilarious, and I have a whole bunch of notes taken, so it's going to be really good. I've got a recent stream from Foodie, which we will watch if we have time. And the main subject for tonight is an interview Stefan did yesterday addressing the allegations against him on the Pearadise community. Last week, I talked at length about Stefan, the fellow who began I guess no nice way to describe it, the theater community, the theater sex community, called, quote, Pearadise, P-E-A-R, Pearadise. Well, Stefan has been a busy boy trying to get his record cleared up, make his community look good, because the recent allegations against him have not been so nice. So with that out of the way, let me welcome you folks in, and then I think we'll get started in just a moment. All right, so let's see what we got here tonight. Oh, and hopefully the audio balance is good for all you folks. If it is not, just let me know, and I will try to do something I can. Welcome in, Hippieista. Hopefully you're feeling well tonight. I know you had your surgery just last week. Welcome in, Lazy Texican. Hey. Jamie Carpenter, good to see ya. Nirvana, how are you doing, Nirvana? Hopefully you're feeling good. Had a nice day. Christy Claw, 7303. Hello, Doc and Chat. Hello, Christy. Detective Cochise, yes, poll needed an all the above choice. I wish I could add an extra one. I mean, I really needed another one too. I forgot what it was, but I remember I had another good idea for the poll. Another good option. Yes, Rory. Welcome in, Rory. Roz is a nut job. She's a liar. But she's cunning. She's cunning. She's not so simple-minded as Foodie. She's a lot more clever, a lot more manipulative. At least I think so. Ooh, Hippieista, we can only hope. Well, I don't think the shark likes you either, Jamie. Welcome in, Sid Eater. Hello. We're Phillionaires. Exactly, Jamie. Yeah, I'm pretty tired, but I was not going to miss tonight's show. Absolutely not. Welcome in, Glitterfile69. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a great night. Alizu, good to see you, Fred. Hopefully you're having a great night as well. All right, let me get all you up. Hopefully I've almost got everybody welcomed in. Just give me a minute here. Let me keep going through the chat, make sure I got everybody welcomed in. And if I do miss anybody, my apologies. Welcome in, Southern Squirrel Gaming Nutty. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a great night. Hey. And Blue Hoodie, good evening, Blue Hoodie. I saw you earlier, and I think it was earlier, maybe it was yesterday, and I think it was Scarletter's stream. Scarletter, she does a great stream. She was covering Rosie. Exactly. She's cunning. She's got a cleverness to her, a low cunning. Welcome in, Christy Claw, 73. I think I welcomed you already, actually. Okay, well, I think we got everybody welcomed in. So with that said, I think we're going to start with what? I really want to start with Stefan. That's the big story of the night, and I already previewed some of it. So I know it's going to be, I know it's good. I previewed some of it. It's got a lot of information in the beginning. He directly addresses the allegations against him, including my concerns. To reiterate a little bit from what happened last week, we covered a documentary made by a fellow reactor about the Pearadise community. And my conclusion, the conclusion I reached regarding Stefan, was that he seemed a little bit creepy. But my biggest knock against the guy was I think he's not being straight up. He claims that the community is a place for fun and gaming and camaraderie and mutual respect and celebrating the large woman's form and all of that. But it really feels more like he's just trying to build his own little harem. and even admits he's trying to set up a poly relationship. I just think he needs to be a little more straight up about that. Yes, please, everybody, be sure you have the live chat settings on so you don't miss any of the chat tonight. She really is. She's a pot stirrer, attention seeker, you name it. And everybody, yes, if you're enjoying the stream, be sure to like and subscribe. Okay, that's what I knew I saw you not too long ago. Yeah, he is, Lizu. Absolutely. And I found that to be really interesting. The documentaries, what I've seen about him, I guess they take that for granted that he's a feeder because nobody seems to be discussing that. Everybody's discussing. I mean, I guess there's so much to discuss. I mean, you can only talk about it so much at a time. Okay, so let me pull that up. Oh, and let me put on the other bumper also. Let me switch up the bumpers since we're doing Stefan first. Start with that. Okay, let me pull up the vid real quick, and then we will get started. Just a moment here. Okay.
You are terrible at that.
Now I'm gonna fast forward the intro a little bit because I'm not a fan of Lolcow Bus. I guess I'll put the link in the chat, just out of respect. I always do that. Just to make it clear up front, I'm not a fan of Lolcow Bus, but they have the content that I would like to see, which is the interview with Stefan. Overall, I don't really care for their show in general, but it's not about them. It's about Stefan and the Pearadise community. So let me fast forward to where he appears.
Because we want to just clear the air with this entirely. We want to get this done and over with, and move on to.
And please let me know if the audio balance is not sufficient. I can lower my volume. I have this as loud as it gets, and it might be a little bit quiet, so I can lower mine down a little if that would help.
Doing the Lolcow Bus show, y'all love from us. This guy has been posing the same fucking question a number of times. Do you want to address it, or can I just time this motherfucker out? This shit's.
Please time him out.
Get timed out, buddy.
Annoying as fuck.
Bring a little creepy there, Mr. Biggs. Stefan!
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
All right.
Good to see you.
I leveled up.
Oh, before we get started, welcome in, Jay Gutchy Gus. Good to see you again. I cannot believe that this is what she wants and begged for. Lol. For everyone to be talking about just how nuts she is. Darn right. Oh, thank you, Duddy. Yes, everybody be sure to check out the Glitter File 69. Excellent channel, excellent reactor. She was a great place to get info on Glitter and Lasers, but Glitter and Lasers is taking a little break. Oh, and let me also congratulate ourselves. Glitter Files, me, and all the other reactors on YouTube. Pat on the back. Also, everybody in the chat. For how long have we been saying that we wanted Anna to stop spreading her misinformation and her lies and her general bad influence on the net? We wanted her to stop. We wanted her to get better as well, but I'll settle for her stopping. I think that's a victory. I'm happy with that. That's what my goal was, to get her to stop being such a bad influence on people, stop spreading her BS, stop exploiting her audience. She stopped. I mean, regardless of why, she stopped. So I'm going to be happy with that. Take the victories where we can get it. And not to be petty, there's a chance that Anna might actually be helping herself. If she's taking a break from the internet, it can't possibly be any worse than she was doing for herself. Staying online was not good for her mental health. It was not good for her in any way, in my opinion. And I think she's going to be better off going off the net. That's my opinion. I'm not a fan either, Jamie. Okay. Or wait, are you talking about me? No, I hope you be the other guy.
A microphone.
Yes, and how is it? Do I need to adjust anything, or?
And is the audio balance good? Let me know if it's.
Am I good?
To adjust it.
You are fine. The stream should hear you just well. So, welcome in. Obviously, there was a big, conversation had yesterday where a lot of things were said. I saw you took some notes. You have some conversations you want to have about what was said.
Yes. Hold on. Ooh. Sorry.
You're good.
Not trying to interrupt you, but I'm trying to sort my windows here. There's a lot of stuff. Okay.
So yesterday we had Paula on the show. She had made a number of claims in regards to the way you behave with either men or the women or money. And
And if anyone could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this, I'm not sure how they're pronouncing the name, Paul? I'm not sure how they pronounced her name, but I believe this is the woman who had made the allegations against Stefan. I could be mistaken, but if anybody can clear that up, I'd be interested to know.
made it seem like there's a lot of taking advantage of your position to kind of run how people interact at the house. And so far from what I've seen, you portray yourself out online and from some of the guests that have stayed with you, it doesn't match up entirely from the story that Paula said versus what they're saying. There's a number of things I wanted to ask you directly. You know,
Please do.
is there some type of monetary exchange that happens when the girls are making content out of the house?
Good question. I actually asked this the other day. As we were talking about, Stefan, what his intentions are, what is he contributing? What are the women in the place contributing? Some of these women are content creators. By content creator, not always, but very often they mean adult content. They mean, I guess you'd say X-rated content. I'm not really sure what exactly you'd classify. We'll just say adult content. And is there a revenue sharing agreement if they're recording it in his property? How do they set up who gets paid?
There's not. And Pau is going to Pau. First of all, glad that Pau came on the show. She got the whole 2 hours. And the takeaway from it was that it's a personal beef. Like Pau has personal beef with me. That's why she came on your show and told some things. So now we need to set some things straight.
Welcome in.
The first one is that I never paid anybody to come here, and nobody pays me. And what she calls me being cheap is me not allowing her to use me. So a lot of women have came here to this house or have entered the community, and their interest is to make money. So they look at me like some sugar daddy, like I have this house.
Okay, that's But in fairness, Stefan, you do kind of portray yourself as a sugar daddy. Maybe not directly, but doesn't he always say things like, hey, if you're a big, beautiful woman, I want you to come to my house. I want you to come live with me for free. I want you to eat my food, use my car, use my property. I'm going to support you basically while you're here. I mean, that's basically what a sugar daddy is. So if these women see him as a sugar daddy, it's because that's how he chooses to make himself look.
I'm inviting people over and they look at me. I'm constantly being called Hugh Hefner of the BBW world, and I don't want to be called that because that's not me.
Yeah.
I'm Stefan.
Lizu, I found this out. I previewed some of this earlier, not to spoil too much, but apparently in the beginning, he was charging them rent. He was charging them rent. It's like one of those Chinese government-run sweatshops where they make the workers pay rent just to work at the factory. They got to pay for their bunk. They got to pay for their own lodging just so they can work 7 days a week.
I just personally have an affinity. I like plus-size women, but I also have always had a mission to allow plus-size women to just live unbothered and make friends in an environment where they can be free and can be themselves. And many times it happened that women came here and they made friends with the other women, and they didn't even come here for me, and that's fine. I literally encourage people to come here to make friendships and don't make it about me. I literally just live here. Yeah, it's my house. Okay, great. But I didn't have any financial interest in any of this.
Yeah.
No financial interest in any of this. What about the TikTok and the other social media? They seem to, I haven't checked, but I'm presuming they have quite a few views. You make something from that.
I had an interest in community. I really, really loved our family dinners. Women taking turns of buying the groceries, cooking the dinner, 6 or 7 of us sitting down at the table, going live.
Well, that answers your question. They're taking turns buying the groceries. So yeah, they are buying their own food. Okay. Then maybe he's not such a sugar daddy. Maybe he's more of just a saccharine daddy.
Of course. We called it a mukbang, but it has nothing to do with feederism. It's literally just a family dinner. Or like our game nights, you know, when Audrey was on camera on here, I think on Wednesday, she said, you know, we were playing Uno. We were playing like for the girls. We were playing spin the bottle, like, you know, that's the things that we actually did here. And never ever did I pay anybody for their appearance. This is not a show.
Yeah, they're paying him. He's kind of, it sounds almost like he's doing kind of like a pimp thing here, where they're recording the content in the house. He's making them pay rent, and then he's getting a cut of the content money. I don't know. I'd be interested to see what the actual breakdown on this is.
There was an intent at some point back in 2020, like, you know, when everything was fresh and everything was exciting and everything was great. Like, I bought a whole desktop computer in the back, like a big, like 32-inch computer with a big, good webcam on it and everything. And we had it sitting in the living room because there was an intent by some of the women to make content. You know.
Oh, so he bought them a computer with the webcam. These women who he was charging rent, he got them a computer that they could use to make, quote, content. I wonder who got the money for that content, Stefan.
Know, either go live or play games online, like, you know, like streaming content or YouTube content, or, you know, maybe even webcamming content, right? But it was always their idea, and they would come to me and say, Stefan, can you help me with this? Stefan, oh, I don't have a laptop, I don't have a computer. Like, and I said, yep, there's a computer right here, family computer. Made them a login.
Even if you aren't
gonna call him Iceberg Fat or Fatberg Slim. This guy's he's pimping these women straight into the health clinic or into the eating disorder clinic.
Benefiting monetarily, there are other benefits that you are receiving. So like the followers on TikTok and Instagram, the clout, things like that. So what is if your goal isn't to make money from Pearadise, what is your main goal from doing all?
Welcome in, Jizzo. Hopefully you're having a great night. We're covering the this new interview. Just came up yesterday. We're finally going to get a chance to hear from Stefan.
The TikTok lives and sharing all this. Like, what are you hoping to get out of that?
Totally honest. Why are you guys?
I always get a little bit apprehensive when somebody starts an answer with, to be totally honest, I know it's a figure of speech, but it always just kind of makes me a little bit apprehensive when somebody starts with that. So the host here, the hostess, who goes by the name Fupa, that's what she calls herself. I'm not calling her that to be mean. That's her name. She calls herself Fupa. She's asking him, so Stefan, what are you hoping to get out of this arrangement?
I mean, the show. Yes, social media is for clicks and likes. Social media is for having a reach. Social media is for influencing people, even if it's on a small scale. You have no idea like how many people have came to me directly and messaged me long messages saying like, you know, Stefan, thanks to your channel, I've gotten so much more confident. I have some.
Oh, that reminds me. You know what? I'm just gonna spoil it because this is too like big of a news story, of a detail to keep it hidden. Later in the show, and I have not seen this whole thing, but I previewed some of it. He talks about letting somebody else use the property, saying, oh, the property's not just for the Pearadise content. Other people use the property too. Men come here, families come here. He said that a friend of his hosted a quinceañera for his daughter. For anybody unaware, a quinceañera is a 15th birthday party for, I believe, in the Mexican-American community for a young woman. A young lady turning 15 years old. They have a big celebration, a big party for her. It's called the quinceañera. Why is he having a party for a 15-year-old girl at a sex house, at a streaming house, at a content? You know, that to me, out of everything I've heard, that might be one of the most disturbing thing yet. And nobody else has even mentioned that. We're going to hear it from his own mouth later. But I just wanted to make you aware of that.
That I can't even read. I could pull it up, but like if I try to read that to you, I'm probably going to break down on stream, and I don't want to do that. Like I had multiple people come to me and say that like I'm the reason.
All right, you know, and Jizzo, I'll be fair. He is a good talker. He's got a good personality. He's a good salesman in that way. Yeah, he's a little bit creepy, but as far as like his personality, like he's slick. He's like a politician or a salesman. He's good at talking to people and selling himself. He's good at that element. So I mean, credit where it's due.
still alive. And this, I can't make it up.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So once this happened, it was just like this incentive to keep going, you know? I know that like putting on Pearadise has helped a tremendous amount of people. Like you have to look at it this way. Like there might be like 1,000 people.
I think his message can be summed up as all you can eat, 2 for 1, all for him.
People out there that say like Pearadise really helped me. It helped me through COVID. It helped me with my own insecurities. It helped me feel better about myself. It helped me be more confident. And there might be 25 people that say like, oh, I'm a monster. Like, you know, I attack people, I harass people, I bully people. I'm like, you know, I should be behind bars.
Yeah.
But you need to look at the.
You're saying there's like a positive outlook on having a community of people.
I have a funny story about that, and I'm not going to dox myself on this one, but I will say this. One time I was working, I used to like work a little bit like in a field related to politics, and I got a call from somebody who was a used car salesman who was like really angry because apparently somebody I worked for had said that he wasn't a used car salesman. And the guy was like representing the used car salesman Association of America or something. And he like wanted to file an official complaint for the guy saying that about used cars. Yeah. So there you go. If used car salesmen are actually really touchy about that kind of thing.
In doing the TikTok server is like outreach. It's essentially giving people the opportunity to find out this exists and there's someplace out there. I get your position here. Before we go too far off the money thing, a claim was made that, you know, you answered, you said, no, if the women did content here, you weren't asking for money from it. But there was another claim that like you do charge rent to some of the women there, but that's because they live there full time, right?
Okay.
Rent is, I don't see how that's conscionable. I mean, yes, it's true. Some of these women probably do require a lot of accommodation. So there probably is like a pretty good amount of expenses that he has to take on. But he's getting plenty out of this deal. He's basically getting his own little harem. And he's getting the social media account that he makes money from. To charge rent as well? First of all, it's I'm trying to think word for it. It's not illegal. Or maybe it is illegal. But it's against code. It's against the rules. So he's not allowed to sublet. I guess if he owns the place, I'm not sure what the rules are.
So back in 2024, we had a season that went terribly sideways because one of the people that lived here caused a tremendous amount of drama. And Pau herself went on a live stream and said that as retaliation, I can make this up, I have a recording and proof of it, as retaliation to Stefan, they went and harassed my HOA. In the process of them harassing the HOA and telling my neighbors that there's drug use here, there's trafficking, there's underage, there's rape. That's
A reinforced bed and 3 pounds of bacon. That's the bed and the breakfast.
our word. There is all this kind of stuff.
A bariatric bed and breakfast.
I had a session with my HOA where I had to explain all this and like basically say like, oh my God, guys, like I'm so sorry. Like I've had some unsavory people at my house and they are now trying to pull you guys into some high school bullshit. And the head of the HOA immediately said, Stefan, don't worry about it. Like all the allegations and drug use and whatever, I don't care. I can see what this is, but I have to remind you with something that I didn't know at the time, that like I'm not allowed to rent rooms like sublet. Subletting is excluded in the HOA contract. So I told him like, oh my God, I'm absolutely sorry. There was no intent here to like, you know, violate any HOA regulations. And I'm going to like the people that caused the drama, that were the drama, were the ones leaving anyway. So
you better turn down the volume when you got Foodie playing. They might overhear her. They'll hear her. They could just tell from the voice.
I told him the house is cleared out.
The heavy breathing and everything.
No more rent. And yes, people have participated. You know, some people lived here for free. Some of the people that are right now on Pau's board, like, you know, trying to make me sound like a monster, actually lived here for months at a time and not paying anything. They didn't even contribute to any of the cleaning costs or anything. They just lived here for free.
They lived here for months, didn't contribute anything. Didn't contribute anything, Stefan? They didn't have to pay, they didn't have to spend any time with you performing any extracurricular activities. And that's the elephant in the room. literally the pig in the pig in the sty. Stefan talks about these women getting rent and getting food and all of this. What did you get out of it, Stefan? You didn't get anything out of this? You just let these women stay here just out of just because you felt bad for them? Like what you got nothing out of it? Just out of the kindness of your heart?
And I helped them. Like I helped them
you
find an
them.
apartment. I drove them around town, help her find an apartment. She got an apartment. There was roaches in that apartment. She had to break her lease and come back, and she came to me back, and like I took her back in. And now she's out there saying like I'm an abuser, basically. You know, I'm manipulating people. I'm turning the women against each other.
Oh my God.
When in reality, the women.
You know something, he probably does. I mean, I don't know if you're joking or not, but seriously, I have a feeling that, especially back in the time when he was charging rent, he got them that computer so they could record content. Probably. So he said, hey, if you can't pay your rent this month, you could just make some videos, right? Yeah, you know, it's no worries. We have the videos. I'm trying to do a German accent, screwing it up. Whatever.
Turn against each other all the time. And I wish it wasn't so. I wish it wasn't so.
When you have these parties and get-togethers, what is your goal for those? Because, like, obviously on social
what is your goal, Stefan? Is it just, it's quite, because I don't think it's as wholesome as you say.
media, you get clout, follows, views, whatever. And you said that you do it because you're helping change the narrative, you're helping people with their confidence, etc. So what is the goal for the parties? And if you are just hanging out with friends, why does there seem to be an ever-evolving door on the friends that you do have and keep? Seems they come and go a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I can tell you,
Yeah, nowadays it's feed, weed, or sneed.
tell you why it is. Because to be totally honest, as an outsider, when it comes to women and men, I'm an outsider. I'm not a woman. Women always beef. There's nothing you can do about that. One of the people that literally quite recently after Shay's passing exited the house and is now proudly supporting Pau and her personal hate campaign, she tried to run her own group. They even made a TikTok page and they tried to do their own little Pearadise. They're not friends anymore. Those people that were part of her group fell apart without me even being in the door. Like women, the biggest BBW dance party that we had in town here in Vegas, there used to be a club Crave. It was ran by 3 females. The whole club died because the 3 females started beefing with each other. So I'm sitting here sometimes and I'm thinking like, oh my God, why are you guys doing this? Why are you beefing with each other? Like, Fuba, you have to understand that like a lot of times.
These are some real high cal women and they should not be taken for granted.
The drama that happened here in the house was between the women. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, oh my fucking God, what are you guys doing? And then they
did a lot of hand jiving. You know, they did a lot of like that hand jive stuff where they kind of, that rave dancing where they just kind of wave their hands around.
I don't know what to do because I'm not a female. I don't know how to handle it. I'm totally honest about that. I do not know how to handle feral females. Like, I just sit here and I say, can't you guys please sit down? Can we have a house meeting? Like, how can we?
The question was oriented towards.
He can't deal with feral females. He just sticks with hogs.
What is the goal for the parties? Not
correct.
Have the dynamic between women and men.
Yes, let me get back to that. Sorry that I have so
and
much.
I'm going to defend the females a little bit and say, Stefan, it sounds like the environment that you were creating there may have been what contributed to these women having these falling outs. You say that women, don't get along and they beef with each other, and they even had problems after you were no longer in the picture. I can believe that. But I also think that while you're in the picture, I don't think that you're doing anything to prevent the conflicts that occur, because Stefan's not a stupid guy. He understands group psychology. I think he realizes that the easiest way to be the undisputed leader is to not allow anyone else to get too comfortable in their position.
My brain is like
no
going 180 right now. So the intent of the parties has always been, before TikTok even existed, I had parties here at my house because I have friends. I like to have friends. I'm a very social person. So I like the idea of literally just having people over and we barbecue and we hop in the pool and we play games.
He's just a social guy. He just likes having people over, you know? Like, he doesn't, he was planning to invite over just a bunch of his guy friends, but they couldn't make it. So he ended up bringing over all these women who he's sexually attracted to, But it's really just about hanging out and having fun. It could be anybody.
And the later the night gets, some people like to. Everybody that knows me knows I don't even drink. Like for my birthday or like for a crazy party, like I will have like 2 or 3 shots. Like Jägermeister, the good German shit. I will challenge somebody to a Jäger or whatever. I will participate in a game of spin the bottle.
Stefan was intimidated. He didn't want a real stud like Rev over there.
I never smoke weed. I never do any other substances.
It's just
I always tell people. Yes, I always tell people I'm high on life. I just like to have you over.
I have a guest in waiting that wants to come up. I think I recognize them. Julia, are you there? Julia, you are. There you go.
Well, I probably should do a little disclaimer because it's so far it's been pretty lighthearted, but there are some serious and disturbing allegations involving this community, and I always like to keep things lighthearted, have some laughs, but I do want to show the appropriate respect to these rather grave allegations. So if something is more serious is brought up, we'll address that when we get to it. But I just want everybody to be aware. I do understand that. This is not all just laughs and fun. So, we're going to take it as it comes.
I'm here.
Hi, what did you want to say?
And the volume is all over the place. It seems like some of them are just like this woman here is very loud. Stefan gets quiet. Fupa's quiet. This guy's loud. I feel like their volume is not balanced.
Stefan, really? After that conversation we had,
yeah, their volume is not balanced. Their tech. I mean, and I can understand if you're amateur hour like me, but this is supposed to be like a semi-professional show. They have a producer, don't they? It's his job to balance the audio.
the other night, you really want to sit up here and play this little innocent man? Oh, these women, they're just so crazy. When you admitted the other night multiple things about that group and how that house works. First, it being,
tell me what. Ask a question. Tell me exactly what case.
No, you said this yourself.
He is Bavarian, not Austrian.
Okay, you said your first season was this friend group thing. And then you said after that, it became an orgy party sex house. And that content continued on for the rest of the time. It was no longer just family friendly.
Okay. So there, she explained it. So the first season, the first, I guess, few months or whatever, that was family friendly. And then it is when it became the orgy sex house. There was a little time in between before, when it shifted.
But I also like that you're leaving out a huge point about the poly stuff that you want to have in that house. And how your relationships with these women really are.
Yeah,
sure, some of them, but you are lying through your teeth, sitting here trying to act like some innocent young man, which you are not neither of. So
I'm just answering the questions. I answered Tech's question truthfully.
For anybody not as old as me, Spin the Bottle was a game that, a silly game that, high schoolers would play, where, boys and girls, when they were, socially awkward, they wanted to kind of get to know each other a little better. They would sit around in a group and they would put a Coke bottle on the table, or I guess it could be a plastic bottle nowadays, and they'd spin it around, and if you'd spin it, and the guys would spin it, and all the girls would stand in a circle, and whichever girl it pointed at, that's the one you had to give a smooch. And it was, more innocent times.
There's a reason why I have a personal interest, of course, and everybody knows that. I've always been honest and
hey, if they have that BMI rule, Lisa, you don't want to run afoul of that. Go over the limit.
Very straightforward on the lives too. I said, when it comes to my personal dating life, I wanted to explore poly. I wanted to have multiple girlfriends. Is that illegal? No, it's not. Having people over and party, is that a problem?
Just having these girls in your house.
I guess by junior year. I was thinking more like freshman year. But yeah, I guess by the end. But by when you're a little bit older, yeah, I guess like a bottle of beer maybe. Or
They're just friends. It's more than that. You keep trying to play this narrative that these awful women just came after this poor guy that just opened his house to these big, beautiful women. No, you have your fucking finger in this mess, and you are doing everything to avoid accountability for it. And you even agreed to accountability in the voice call we were in the other night. Fupa, unfortunately, I think you were there, but you weren't listening or whatever. Foxy was in there for a minute. But the show that you showed us the other night and this guy right now are not the same at all. And the fact I know I'm getting to is how red your fucking face is getting right now.
I mean, you're literally just berating me right now, but you're not ask me an honest question. I'll answer truthfully.
So just to clear up for anybody who's just coming in, And also welcome into anybody who's just come in. Thank you very much. We're glad to have you. Any new viewers, anybody watching the replay for the first time, glad to have you. Leave a comment. Be sure to say hi. Let us know you're enjoying the show. And also be sure to click that like button if you're enjoying it as well. Right now we've got this new guest who just came on. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. Nobody spelled it for me. I believe it's pronounced Paw. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I just can't understand the way they're pronouncing it. She is I guess you would say the disgruntled former Paradisian. She's a former Paradisian, and she's rather disgruntled, and she has a lot of claims against Stefan, and she's kind of airing them out now.
Can I make a assessment? I think what the claim is being made is maybe the original or like idea behind the parties and the get-togethers was to be friendly, show community, do that. And that later on it became adding to the harem, adding to the women that you can have access to, that you can meet with, date with, have relationships with.
Let me tell you what happened. Season 2, which is the first time frame that I was on TikTok, season 2 was a fucking fuckfest. Like, we went live on...
Okay, and this is why I have a problem with this guy. And I'm there's plenty of other things I can have a problem with, but let's stick to the things that can be clearly proven. There's no debate on on this much, at least. Stefan is misrepresenting his community. I'm not going to go so far as to say that he's misrepresenting himself, but he's very much misrepresenting his community, and he's misrepresenting his motivations. He talks at length about the innocent motivations he has for this community, how it's only about platonic games and celebrating the feminine form and making people feel comfortable. And now, when you put him on the spot, he says, "Yeah, it was an F fest. We were screwing all the time." But why couldn't you say that up front, Stefan? Why couldn't you start off by saying, "Hey, this community is a community built around sexual activity. There's other activity as well. It's not only built on sexual activity, but that is a fundamental element of this community. I'm not ashamed of it, and I want people to understand that so they don't feel misled." That's what he should have said, in my opinion, of course.
Discord and did stuff in front of viewers, but it wasn't me saying, "Everybody come over, let's turn this into a swinger club." I invited people over here.
Glad to have you, Grateful Life. Enjoy your lurk.
And sad as it is, like, season 2 was literally like a bunch of females fighting over the dick, and I'm not lying. So I got pulled into things. It was like, I'm not saying I'm completely innocent, because I said yes. I agreed to some things. I went live on Discord and when people were naked in the pool because they asked me for it. Yeah, of course I was completely...
He went live on Discord when people were naked in the pool because they asked for it. This is what I mean. This is not a wholesome, game playing activity. I mean, I'm not saying those doesn't happen too, but for the most, this is a sleazy, nasty, fetish community. I can't say that clearly enough because it's very easy to neglect that. It would be very different if this was just regular adults having some sexy time. This is a fetish community built around self-destruction. It is built around this man's self-destructive fetish. And he also, he wants to see these women eat themselves to death. It's messed up. And if I get this, and if this episode gets demonetized, well, that's simply what's necessary because I want to get the word out on this.
In it. And then people in the Discord reminded me and said, like, hold on. There might be people in here that didn't sign up for this. We shouldn't be doing this. And that's when I step by step locked down that kind of stuff and didn't do that in public VCs anymore. And like just only did it in private groups and all that kind of stuff.
So only did it in private groups. But whether you do it in private or not, Stefan, that doesn't give you the right to mislead people as to what's going on there. If you can tell people honestly what's going on without showing them all of the details. It's not one or the other.
So the first answer you gave about the parties was it's just for community, but it sounds
that's how
like,
it started,
right? But, the real answer, because people was asking, what is the reason for them present day, right? That's what we really want to know. It sounds like it is more sexual oriented or relationship oriented or main.
My best. I'll just say it like this: my best friend growing up, he's dead. He didn't make it. So yeah, I can certainly relate to making a lot of bad decisions when I was younger. I'm glad to say that I've survived and learned my lesson, and it's for the best. So God rest my good buddy growing up. God rest his soul. It's in a better place.
It's no longer just like, hey, we're friendly, bigger people, come hang out. Now it's, hey, do you like what you see? Are you enjoying the content? We do this together.
Peace and love in the LCU.
That's that's the donation alert for their show. I wasn't trying to bring the mood down or anything. It was just, I don't know. Sorry about that.
$20. So who did you invite the most, females, or when you had your parties both sexes, male and female? Because the way these women speak, you didn't like men around.
That's false. We had
With their boyfriends.
Okay, so there's an allegation that they didn't like having that he didn't want men to be around there. First off, I think that's completely irrelevant. This fetish community that he's operating is incredibly destructive. If he's allowing other men to participate in their fetish, it doesn't do anything to make it better. If anything, it makes it even worse. Yes, it would provide some counterpoint to the allegation that he's trying to make it his own little personal harem. But is making it a public brothel any better than a personal harem at the end of the day?
The problem is, this is a house, and I only started naming it Pearadise after season 2, like in season 3. Before, it wasn't even Pearadise. The whole idea with Pearadise came later, after my first account got banned on TikTok, right? So, mind you, we had different types of parties here, different people, different vibes. I'm not going to lie. We literally had a swinger party here with people from the swinger club because we invited them and planned it to be a swinger party and did not invite any TikTok people to that.
Stefan, I understand that they were on different nights, but there's just something, and I know that people will argue this. And I accept that it's an argument you maybe could make, that a community that's hosting swinging events is probably not a community that is appropriate for family events on, at the same time. It's kind of like, I think you should choose one or the other. I think trying to combine them is where most of the problems are coming from, Stefan.
Is that wrong? Like, can I not have different people? I had a quinceañera.
It is wrong. In my opinion, it is wrong. In my opinion, it's wrong. I don't think you should be having orgy night and then having family night, on the next night. I don't think you should be doing that. Even Rosie said it was wrong. Even she said she didn't approve of that orgy house she went to, having like a room where the kids would stay. Even Rosie felt that was too much. So, Stefan, I think that's inappropriate.
Here at the house.
A quinceañera,
And there was no live stream,
a celebration
no
of a 15-year-old, right?
a mix, like a friend.
I'm sorry to hear that, Jizzo. Let's put some hearts or some prayers in the chat for anybody who's lost somebody close to them. I'm sure a lot of people have, not just us, right? Yeah, amen. I'm sorry for your loss, Jizzo, and prayers and blessings for everybody who's we're a community here, right? That's I like to think that we're here for each other in this kind of thing.
Friend approached me and said, "Can I have your space and host my quinceañera?" And I said, "Absolutely, yes."
Oh, right here. Here it is. Quinceañera. Just couldn't said it any better. So, Stefan, if you want to have orgy night, I don't think having family night the day after like erases orgy night. It's not like here. What he's doing is like when ALR, eats 3 bags of ramen and then has a bag of carrots afterward. The carrots don't cancel out the ramen. The kid's birthday party doesn't cancel out the orgy. Doesn't work like that.
Celebration of a 15-year-old, right?
A mix, like a friend approached me and said, "Can I have your space and host my quinceañera?" And I said, "Absolutely, yes." And then I said, "There's going to be no live stream. There's going to be no alcohol. There's going to be no other adults." And I allowed them to use my house for them, and it was fun. It was great times.
Okay.
He had so much fun with the kid's birthday party. Now, I am not a pearl clutcher. I am not somebody who's likes to I'm not a concern troll, But that is inappropriate. That is very inappropriate. I don't think that a birthday party for a bunch of 15-year-old girls, 14-year-old girls, 16-year-old girls, because that's who's going to be there, maybe even younger. I don't think that needs to be at a place that's hosting sex workers and swinging events just the night before. I think that if this is an orgy house where that kind of activity is going on a regular basis, I don't think it's appropriate to have family night. And, we're going to, hey, everybody who was here for the orgy last night, I'm sorry. You gotta go today. You gotta leave for 3 hours because we're hosting a children's party. What kind of crap is that? Yeah, everybody, the sex party we had last night. Sorry, we got to cut it short. There's a birthday party that's going to be here in an hour.
And we're going to redirect to the question about the gender thing. But Julia, is there anything else you want to say?
I mean, there's lots, but I'll let you guys go on. If something comes up, I'll just try to join again. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Julia.
All right, bye, guys.
So the men, we're talking about the gender issue, right? The question from Sicilian Princess for 20 was, is it that you're more oriented towards inviting women? Do you have any issues inviting men over? What is your dynamic with having men being, invited over to the house?
All the time.
I think this to me is such a red herring question. I mean, yes, somebody donated to ask the question, so I respect the fact they're going to ask it, but I think this is completely irrelevant. The community is messed up for a lot of reasons. If he's not inviting other men over there to participate in the orgies, or if he's not inviting enough men to participate in the orgies, I don't think that's a problem. I'm not trying to get over there. I don't have an issue with that.
When Rita used to we used to have big raging parties with the public flyer that got put out on Facebook, and there was a door fee. We charged $20 to get in the door. We checked IDs, bring your own booze, bring your own weed, all that kind of stuff. There's plenty of guys here, and whenever we go live and there's men at the house, or there was, I'm more talking past tense right now. Yeah. A lot of times the men did not want to be on camera, and I just respected that. A lot of times we had men here and they were here for the community effect, or like a bash, all this talking about BBW bashes at some point. Of course we had guys here, and of course, shit, we had some guys that we had to kick out. We had some guys that actually. I
mean, it's no worse than listening to I don't know, maybe some extreme heavy metal or loud gangster rap music. Is it really any worse than that? The looks that you get? Hopefully not.
We did things that were unsavory, so they had to be made to leave. And I don't understand where this narrative always comes from. Of course, I'm not going to lie, the majority was always women. So, whenever we had a party, there might be 15 women here and 5 guys. Okay, imbalance. Agreed. But there was never any, from either me or any of the women, any kind of attempt to keep men out. Some people came with partners, open, poly, or monogamous. That's just a blatant bullshit lie. And if you went... Sadly, all my videos got deleted with my account, but if you were to go back and look at some of the party TikToks, you'll see plenty of guys sitting around the table in the group shots.
Okay, you know what? I'm not even too upset about it.
Okay, so because he invites other feeders there, that makes it okay? I think this is a completely irrelevant detail. If he brings over lots of other feeders, it doesn't make it any better. If anything, it makes it worse.
Think if it's your preference and it's your fucking...
and if he is inviting over feeders, well then, geez, how about Remy? You know that he wants to go over there. That's who seriously is hoping to go to Pearadise. Mr. Rem.
House, right? And you're like, I want to have women here because I like women. That's not a big issue for me. I think the biggest issue that some of the chat will have is if you were ever denying men coming over who were larger, right? Your idea of BBW.
No, never.
Right?
That would be an issue. If you were discriminating against fat men, that would be it. What the hell? Or are they afraid that their buddy Boogie wouldn't be able to get in?
It's big, beautiful women, right? I just want to make sure I get my terms correct. BBW is big, beautiful women.
Correct. Yes.
Is there a
BHM is big, handsome man. That's a big guy.
Okay.
And we have plenty of those.
All right, now this raises the question. If BBW is a big, beautiful woman, and a BHG is a big, handsome guy, what do you call a big, ugly person? What do you call a big, ugly? There has to be a name for it.
We have all races. We even have 2 trans men that I'm still friends with.
Yeah. So
are you saying you're going in?
Hello?
Hello?
Okay. There's some background noise. So you were never if a BHM, a big handsome man, reached out to you online and was like, hey, I would like to come to Pearadise, you didn't feel like, oh, actually, no.
You know, we've been talking a long time about like a hypothetical girls' house where Foodie, Amber, HFC could all hang out together. Maybe this could be it. Maybe SJM could go there. Emily, like seriously, like this Pearadise community, if Stefan is up to it, I think every one of them should go there. It could be, we could just have one stop shopping for all of our content needs.
Oh, too much dick. That's too much penis. In my
No,
Okay.
no. If anybody tells you
Oh
that,
my God.
it's probably part of a personal beef with me. You know, we have to remember that. Like the last show that we had yesterday was literally all personal beef and a bunch of nothing burger. There was no allegations. There was no proof of any allegations. There was no proof of any abuse. The only proof there was proof of bullying. And Tech, I really, really respect you. Like, man, like you've been nothing but nice to me. And this is me. I'm almost like I'm laughing about this now, but back in the day, I was really, really hurt, like playing those deer sounds and all that kind of shit. Having women publicly humiliate you and talk about your deepest, most personal like experiences that you have like during sex is what shows you who they really are. Like 2 or 3 years ago, they had a whole live stream where all they did is bully me and belittle me.
2 wrongs don't make a right. That's all I have to say on that. 2 wrongs don't. If Stefan is mistreated these ladies, doesn't make it okay to do the same to him. But you know, doesn't. But at the same time, if they have been rude to him, it doesn't excuse if he did something wrong to them.
And literally, like, I don't even know the proper English word for it right now. Like, you know, humiliate me publicly.
Say the German word.
There's no German word.
Okay, well, there you go. But
I don't make deer. I don't make deer noises. I don't make deer noises. It's some bullshit that they came up with in order to say something. That is like.
I hear you, but even if you did, it's not like the end of the world. Also, Audrey, are you able to turn your camera on?
I can't, but because I'm in the middle of getting ready, so I look insane right now. But I wanted to just there's just a short thing to say anyway because it's from
Stefan. If you're listening and you ever want to get back at those ladies for saying you make weird noises in bed, say the only reason they don't make noises is because they're too out of breath.
things I heard yesterday, also her saying stuff to me. But the big thing is, why does anyone care, right? That this grown ass adult man who owns his own house wants to have sex parties. If he wants to do that with his house, he's allowed to. There's never been a time, and that is not what happened.
Good question. I'll tell you why it's a problem. Because it's a harmful fetish community. It's not a community simply dedicated to healthy sexuality. That's as much as I sometimes act like a prude up here. I'm not gonna, I'll be straight up. I don't have a problem with people having a sexual community as long as it's not destructive to them, as long as it's healthy. And this is not a healthy sexual community. This is a very destructive community, mentally destructive, physically destructive for him and the women and the men who go there as well. It's not only the women being harmed. Maybe the women are being harmed physically, but the men are surely destroying themselves mentally. Spiritually, they're destroying themselves.
Happens all the time. It's mainly.
Let's go one by one. I can tell you why. I can tell you why they care, because it comes off like the original intention is to build a community about appreciation and acceptance.
That is what it is.
These people.
That's the main root.
Now you need to understand, if Stefan is like the head of a community, right? Because obviously Pearadise is a community. It's a full ecosystem. A woman came up to me on the street on Sunday and said, "Hey, are you Tech Protect? I'm friends with Stefan." They were looking for me throughout all of San Diego, downtown San Diego, found me and told me I'm Team Stefan. This community is not just like him and his neighbors and his friends from like the bar, right? This is this is now.
I am team health. I am team dignity. I'm not on the side of either the feeders or the feedies. I am on team dignity.
National. This is a big fucking deal, right? Stefan,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass and make you seem like you're like this big dude, but you're a big fucking dude. All right. You have
the BBW community and the plus size community. It's a small community, so people know.
Well, this is small in number, is what you mean. Small in number.
A lot of each other.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so the point I'm trying to talk about is when Audrey says, "Why do they care?" It's because when you are a person in charge of a part of a community to such lengths, there is like an expectation of separating your role as being a role model and your own personal shit. Maybe I don't agree with it.
No, hold on a second. That's a very good point. You may not, I forgot what this guy's name was, but that's a great point. Stefan, you want to be the leader of this community, and you claim that the goals of the community are empowering the women, celebrating them for being big, celebrating being fat in general, feeding, eating, playing games, having fun. Okay, fine. But if you want to be in charge of that, can't you acknowledge there's a conflict of interest if you're also trying to set up your own poly relationships with these people? There's a conflict of interest. What happens if one of these women who you are interested in is more interested in leaving the community and taking care of themselves? Are you going to put her needs first and encourage her to leave? Or are you going to put your needs first and encourage her to stay?
Maybe I'm not on board. I say Stefan should fuck who he wants to fuck if they want to fuck consensually. I don't care. If he wants to have sex parties, he wants to hang women from the ceiling, with not hurting them, but like have fun like that, like rope play, whatever. I don't give a fuck. The
ceiling would break, but I get what you're saying. You mean like safely hanging,
right? But some of the audience will care because they see him as being responsible.
Of course, and I look at him as responsible.
Wrestling with regret.
In certain parts, I'm agreeing in a way. So let me explain. What I'm saying is, so when people
and I think what we're going to do for the sake of time, I think we're going to split up this video because this is so much here, and we're going to about halfway through, and then we're going to cover the Rosie segment for the second half. So we're going to close out that poll in just a little bit. It's been almost an hour. So if anybody has not had a chance yet to vote, please vote on the poll. And I will be closing that out in a little bit. I forgot to close it out last week. So I saw Nutty reminded me last week, but I didn't see it. So, but I thank you for the reminder, though, even though I missed it.
We're here from 8 a.m. all the way until 2 a.m. and the entire day we're having so much fun. We're playing Uno. We're outside taking videos. We're smoking outside with all our friends. We're
having fun, playing Uno, smoking, making videos. But Stefan is also trying to is trying to groom you. And I say groom, I don't mean groom in the sense like mentally control, but I mean groom in the sense of encourage and facilitate.
We're just laughing like you've never laughed before. We all are cooking dinner together, grilling outside. We're having the best time. We're swimming in the pool. We're doing everything. We're going and running errands together. We're all acting like we're literally a family. That is what this thing is a family.
Acting like literally a family. No, it's not a family. Families don't have sex with each other. That's not a family, okay? That's a very screwed up family.
Is literally nothing else besides, it's nothing creepy, it's nothing weird.
Actually, no. Now I am thinking it's creepy. You say you're a family and you all have sex with each other? That's extremely freaking creepy.
Oh, there was sex on Discord calls. Okay,
I agree. Wait, hang on. Let me finish. Hang on.
But you have to include the entire picture. Finish. The entire picture.
Let me paint the picture. What I'm saying is, all that is happening from 8 a.m. to whatever time, right? And then at nighttime, an adult and other adults decide to have adult fun, right? In an adult space when everyone else has been informed that those adult things are happening. And on people's free time, they're doing adult things. Who cares? People are lawyers and fathers and all these things, right? During the day, and at night, they're having their wife peg them. You don't know what people are doing on a Tuesday.
Again,
and no one should judge.
That's a straw man argument. That's a straw man argument. Not everybody is getting pegged. So don't use that as your excuse to do whatever.
I don't care about it. I know there's a number of people that don't care that Stefan does these things. I'm saying the point of the conversation that people do complain about is he is like a pillar. When it comes to the BBW space online, he is one of the names.
He is like a pillar. He can never get enough. He's always at attention. That's the complaint they have. He won't let the ladies have any rest. He's like a pillar in the community. Oh, they mean a social pillar. Okay.
Most people are going to hear about. When I was doing research for this fucking story for the last week, and if I just type in BBW communities, his name is fucking everywhere. Yeah. All right. He is an important individual. He's not just the lawyer who's doing your fucking car accident claim and then he's getting pegged by his wife. He's not that guy anymore. Right? They're going to associate him with a position of power and authority and influence.
Thank you. You know something? That's a very good point. If he is the public face of the community and he is portraying it as a wholesome place that you can bring your family to, he needs to be consistent. He can't say that and then have it be an orgy house at the same time and then act like, well, I don't then act like he doesn't understand why people have an issue with it.
And say, maybe there should be some separation of what is publicly known about him if he's doing these kind of things, because the BBW space is not entirely sexual. Can we agree?
Yeah.
Correct.
The BBW space is entirely sexual. It is. The term BBW, the only time I ever see it used is in reference to what? Pornography or sex work of some kind. I mean, maybe people use it in other ways, but I've never seen it used in maybe, I mean, I just haven't. I have not seen it used. When you're talking about somebody in a non-sexual way, you just simply say a plus-sized person, a person of size, a heavy-set person. The term BBW is very like porn-coded.
There's a huge part of it that is not at all a fetish, not at all a kink. It is just people who are, I'm large, I love my body this way, this is who I am, I live a normal, not sexual life.
Well, then they probably would want to avoid the term BBW, because the term BBW is almost synonymous with pornography.
They can if they want to, right? And Stefan kind of propagates that idea with being accepted. Come join the community. Do this. You don't have to suck my cock to be here, by the way. He's portraying that.
You don't have to do that to be here, but you'll get special privileges if you do. So you probably should. It'd be for the best for both of us.
He's also hypersexual, which is okay in my head, but that's what people are
So then
complaining
see exactly, you're saying one thing and then saying another. Like he is that guy that he's like he's the reason, and that's why I stand by him too. Is like I've seen all these girls' lives change because of him in a positive way. Like these women were a shell of themselves, and the only reason that they are who they are and they're able to be like what they are now is because of him. And
yeah, right. These women, their lives were terrible, and now they're in a poly relationship. They're doing sex work on camera. They're feeding. They're gaining weight. They're in a documentary about abuse. Their lives are so much better now.
There's nothing else that he was saying in the way, like he didn't even hook up with these women. He didn't want anything sexually from these women. He literally just wanted these women to have a space that they could be themselves. And there's been people who have no homes, and they
welcome in, Rose Thorne. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a wonderful night. Good to see you again. And yes, Nirvana, these people are very, very awkward. Very, very awkward. And if anybody's not aware, Rose Thorne is a fellow reactor. She does a great show herself. Definitely be sure to check her out.
They're just friends, and he lets them come in here to stay here for 3 days, 4 days. Like he's a good guy too. Like you guys act because it's just crazy.
No, again, I get it. Fupa wants to say something.
There's a huge disconnect between what he says happens and what other women have said happened. So you guys are saying, oh, all these people were informed that at 2 a.m. like we're gonna get X-rated or whatever. But there's been a lot of people come out and say, I wasn't expecting that. And you can imagine if you're at a party or you're just going to someone's house to hang out in the pool, grill out, whatever, that at a certain time people start taking off their clothes, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Because that's
Thank you. Couldn't have said it much better myself. I think that the allegations against Stefan at least partially arose from the confusion he has intentionally created. He's making people, he's confusing people as to the nature of this community. He tells them it's a wholesome community that, has a little bit of a sex going on in the background. But then he reverses himself and says, well, actually, it's a community based around sex. But there's also a lot of wholesome stuff too. You have to either pick one, or you need to be very clear about how both of them are part of this community, and they cannot be separated. I guess that's another thing to point out. Stefan is compartmentalizing it. He's like, oh, well, we have family night, and then we have sex night, and they're completely separate. You can't separate them when they're involving the same people in the same location. It's based. You can't act like these are completely unrelated things.
a bit taboo.
Of course. That's why I'm saying he's in the wrong where he should have like they should know before even stepping in the house. I agree with that. Like they should if it's going to be like that, but then also sometimes it isn't planned to be that, but because
Oh,
the people who
wow.
are there who
Rose Thorne here with some info, some tea. Let me share this for everybody because I did not know this. Stefan effed up. He was on video admitting he accepted money for a girl turning a trick in his home in Vegas. That's illegal. You can't use your home as a brothel in Clark County. That's pretty clear crime, and it's not just a crime, it's very immoral because he wants to say that he's not profiting from these women. He wants to say that he's not creating an atmosphere, he's not creating a sexually charged atmosphere where these women are obligated to him. But what you're describing is exactly the opposite of what he claims. So thank you for that piece of info there. I did not know that, and that's a big deal. That's a very big deal. He's lucky they have not charged him with a crime. But maybe they will. Maybe they'll investigate further. Thank you very much, Nutty. That's also great. I'm going to read this comment too. You had so many great comments tonight. I'm all for people feeling good about themselves, but gating that feeling that way because some creep wants to do something with them is sus. Yeah, they're basing your validation on some creepy guy's sexual fetish is incredibly destructive, unhealthy, dangerous. You know, all of the bad stuff I can say about it.
who are trying to be sexual, it turns into that. So then, that's what I'm saying. Before even we do like spin the bottle, we let people know. So no one's getting naked before everyone in the house knows that's gonna happen.
What's he got in the picture there?
In the bottle, we let people.
Meow BBW Paradise. That drawing looks nothing like how those women actually look. That drawing is much more flattering. But whatever, I'm not going to fight him over the drawing. But
No. So no one's getting naked before everyone in the house knows that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Or like that things are gonna happen. Like, and then at that point it's their.
So nobody's getting naked before they know things are going to happen. Are you sure? Because Stefan is going out of his way to portray this place as a platonic environment.
Decision to leave or not. And if they don't leave after the warning is told, is that Stefan's fault or their fault?
If they don't leave after the warning, I thought this was a wholesome community. And now they're being warned they better leave. If you don't want to be sexually harassed, you need to get out of here. That doesn't sound like a wholesome community at all. It sounds like an exploitive community.
It's his fault for not letting them know, and I understand that can be uncomfortable. Like even the conversation, like, "Hey, everyone, like at this time, this is gonna happen." Like, yeah, that can even be uncomfortable for someone, and I totally respect that.
One moment, Stefan has show and tell ready, so let's take a look. Go ahead.
Now you're show and tell, Stefan.
Okay, so a couple, boyfriend girlfriend, they came to the house back for my birthday for one of my birthday parties in June of 2021. So we're going way, way, way back in the middle of the time when all these allegations were like, cooking or whatever. She drew this for me and she wrote on the back, "Happy birthday, Stefan. Thank you for being an amazing person. You make so many people feel loved, and the family you created saved so many of us. I am new to the mix, but I am beyond grateful to be here. Don't change for anyone. Wishing you more decades of birthdays, and I hope I can be there for all of them. Always your friend, Dan." So,
okay, this is very disturbing. The family you've created saved so many of us. This is disturbing. If he was saying, "Hey, I'm running a community here. I'm trying to have sex with a bunch of women, and they know that, they enjoy it. We're all having fun." Family, you don't have sex with your family, Stefan. That's a very messed up idea to be calling yourselves a family and then having sex with each other. That creates a lot of very uncomfortable connotations. At the very least, there's a severe crossing or blurring of boundaries, rather. And if these women are saying that being recruited into some creepy guy's harem is the best thing that ever happened to them, that makes me think they've had extremely traumatic lives. Right? If the best thing that ever happened to you is joining this guy's harem, you've probably had a really rough life. And not to take anyone's agency away, but if you're that desperate, you probably need some time to think You don't need to be pressured into having sex with this man for a place to stay.
If this isn't proof that we had parties that were innocent, like it was a couple, and actually the funny thing is because like, you know, the people in the chat don't know, so I'm not going to try to, like, you know, insinuate anything. I'm not going to say it. Like, they have been in contact with me. They moved away. They're not in Vegas anymore, and they have still stayed in contact with me through this entire time. Like, you know, hey Stefan.
So he's describing these women who have had a falling out with him, and the message he read a moment ago was apparently in you know, when times were good, with these women who have since had the falling out with him. Like I said, that message where they're saying, "Oh, Stefan, it's like now we're like a family, and it's the best thing that ever happened to us." It sounds like these women were desperate. They needed a place to stay, and they were willing to do whatever you asked because they were afraid they would have to leave if they didn't. And if that's not the case, did you make that clear to them? Did you make it clear to them they would not have to leave if they didn't have sex with you? Did you ever make that clear to them? Because it sounds like they were willing to go along with whatever you put in front of them because they were so darn desperate. Why do I say they're desperate? Because again, they're calling being in this guy's harem the best thing that ever happened to them. They're calling his harem their family. That means they don't have a real family. They don't have a good family. Nobody who comes from a good family is going to call this guy's harem their family. They're not going to want to, at least.
Doing, like, how's life treating you? How are you guys doing? How's the Midwest? You know, how's Vegas? You know, all that kind of stuff. You know,
welcome in, Miss L. Hope I got that spell. Miss Imed or Missy Med. Oh, Missy Med. Okay. Welcome in, Missy Med. Evening. Oh, I didn't. More tea from Rose. Rose is really up to date on this. And let me share my little bumper also while I'm reading through the chat real quick. Explain why you were in Foodie Beauty's chat recently and why did you buy a cameo from Foodie, Stefan? Explain that. Good question, Rose Thorne, because he could say all he wants about how he's running a wholesome community, but there's nothing wholesome about Foodie Beauty. Why would he choose to involve himself with such a troublesome and controversial figure?
Like I said, for every 100 positive people, there might have been 3 negative. The problem is, why are the negative voices so loud? I mean, Kimmy ran this whole like this whole allegation thing like a political campaign. It wasn't about helping anybody. It wasn't about clarifying anything. It wasn't educational. It wasn't like, I mean, even Foxy, I told Foxy if she would have came to me in person, I would have done anything I could have done. Piggy came out with her campaign after I apologized to the people in question. The 2 women that Piggy used intentionally to launch her campaign had given me the impression that we were good. Like, we had made up. I had apologized. I had taken accountability to them on a video call. The beef was squashed. The beef was squashed in my mind. But then Piggy comes out and she perpetuated, and she adds, and I need to say this one more time because Fupa, the text messages I showed on Cece's chat and the text messages on Cece's video are the same. Didn't you guys not look at the docket?
This is at this point, this is a lot of he said, she said. There's not really clear. I mean, there's video evidence of what occurred in the place, but nobody can say for sure what was in his mind, what his intentions were, or what or how the woman felt in that moment, right? Like we can only go by what we're being told, so we have to take everything at face value. So it's you know, it's one of those situations where it's not necessarily clear cut.
I didn't doctor anything. I didn't delete anything. The messages are identical.
I haven't looked at the docket now.
Okay.
See,
I just
that's
want to
the
make
stuff you need to show is like all the things because like that's why I want to get out too because I feel like he needs a time to show like what I've seen too because that's like why I stand for it so hard. But also I feel like it's like an attack of everything. Like everyone does stuff. Like Powell's in does sex work. We don't judge her for that. Like go off. Like you do what you want to do. Like but then because he's a man and in this space and because these girls left his house saying this stuff, they amplify it to the max. Like he's never denied that.
It's not okay. As a man, I'm gonna disagree just a little bit. I'm gonna give a little bit of pushback on that. I do agree. I will agree that when you're a guy in a female space, it can be, you have to be a little bit more cautious. However, I don't think that Stefan is being targeted because he's a man. I think it's because he's putting himself in a very dangerous situation where he's inviting over all of these women on very short notice. He's not clearly establishing ground rules with them. He's not clearly establishing what their boundaries are. And then he's testing their boundaries sexually, which is, at best, it's questionable morality. It's questionable morality at best. I don't want to get too, I don't want to start talking too strongly on here, right? I want to leave a little crack in the door open, depending how it goes in the future. But I'll just say that he's looking pretty bad, and he's at the very least he's put himself in a bad situation he could have easily avoided if he had acted a little bit smarter and thought with his brain instead of with his pecker.
He's not in the wrong in certain things. And after those allegations came out, how they so hardcore like went to the left, he stopped even doing like how you said, like grabbing by the hips and turning. He knows he's in the wrong for that now. He thought like, girls coming to his house and they're flirting with him. It's okay to do those things. But he now knows it's not okay to touch anyone.
Yep. It's not that he's just a guy. He's a creep. He's put himself in a situation where he has made some people feel very uncomfortable. He's been leading with his lust, satisfying his lust at every turn, and he's not really too concerned about the feelings of these ladies individually. So if it's led to some problems, if it's led to some miscommunication, some hurt feelings, he has nobody to blame but himself.
Or do anything without any consent, and he can apologize for that till the end of the day, but they won't listen to that. They're just painting him as this devil that he's not. I've seen it over and over again. I've been friends with everyone. I was friends with Cass,
Stefan's willing to show those text messages. I would welcome that because that's one of the biggest stories that I've been conflicted on just because of the behavior from her after the fact has me a little questioning things.
I'm telling you, and this is actually the most upsetting part about any of this is like every time I show any kind of proof, anytime I tell a story, the women say, "Oh, his evidence is invalid, his evidence is doctored, his evidence is edited." It's not. But on the other hand, Piggy actually doctored evidence. She did Photoshop screenshots and then posted it all over the page.
Let's call her.
I can say, just speaking for myself, I don't see it as an issue of evidence. I see it as an issue of intent. That's where I'm standing on this. And regardless of what the evidence is, I don't think Stefan had good intentions. So even if there's not enough evidence to show that he did something inappropriate, there's more than enough evidence to believe that his intentions were not good.
Kimmy did actually, in fact, in court, it would be a crime. She doctored evidence and used this falsified evidence to go on and make a TikTok video claiming that I do something. I can show you the video. Like, you want to see it? Like, are we talking about doctoring evidence? Like, I can show it. Are we talking about me proving that like the accusations that came out of the LCU on the video chat where people saying,
well, I mean, I think there's levels to perversion. I think there's levels to it. I think Stefan's a little worse than the average guy. But yeah, I mean, a lot of us can have some kind of, we can have some weird thoughts. But I don't know. I'm not too weird in general as far as perversion goes. So I'm happy to say that I'm not too weird.
My messages from CC were doctored. That's bullshit. Like, at some point, like,
And I genuinely mean that. I'm happy that I'm not. Like, how awful would it be to have like some like really weird, disgusting fetish, you know? And like, what are you gonna do about it? If you have it, you can't, you know, like, if you like what you like, you know, like I'm lucky that I don't have some weird fetish like that.
so the general public needs to demand proof. Like, if somebody says Stefan doctored something, show proof that it was doctored. Don't always put me in the corner of having to fucking prove my innocence.
Audrey, if you want to get ready and come back so you don't look crazy on camera, that'd be great. And we'll let Stefan do his responses to the stuff that happened yesterday.
Oh, hippieista, that's
Of
a
course.
if she's not, it's only because she's too physically ill to make the travel. If she was physically healthier, I think she would definitely be over there. Although she is a little bit older, and Stefan seems to like his women a little bit on the younger side, not like super young, but he seems to prefer women, you know, a little bit younger. And HFC seems to be a little bit over his age range, but he'd probably make an exception for her. I think he'd be more than happy to have her over there, and she would be more than happy to go there. A place where she could stay, all the food she can eat. She could film her sex videos there. She would, you know, she would love to go. But I think her health is just too poor. She can't make the trip.
Hey,
Thank you for
bye.
coming up.
Of course.
Anyways,
Sorry.
No,
I also don't want to derail the show, Tech. Please go ahead with your question.
you're fine. You're fine.
So I do have some questions.
I just want to mention here, and I don't want to get too deep off on this tangent, but I think it's important to distinguish between healthy and unhealthy sexuality, right? Like, healthy sexuality is just that. It's healthy, it's normal, it's a positive thing. Unhealthy sexuality is when you have desires or compulsions or paraphilias that are harmful to you or to your partner, or maybe your psyche, whatever. I mean, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but just there's definitely a line though where attractions and desires can become an obsession. They can become unhealthy, and it's important to recognize when you cross that threshold.
Some of the girls have claimed
The
that
difference between, you know, wanting to look at a beautiful woman and being a porn addict.
you like to portray yourself as you don't like the drama, you're drama free, like let's just all get along and be happy. But there have been a few women
Welcome in, Marcia. Good to see you. We're having a great night.
accuse you of kind of using the women to instigate behind the scenes. So you may go to this person over here, say, oh, can you believe what so-and-so did? And then of course that person goes and confronts them. Like you have these women going at each other, like, and you're all behind the scenes of it all.
Okay, watch out. There's income.
I hate that. I hate the overstimulation from the loud noise. Like I don't mind like the alert for the donation. I think that's perfectly fine. I think it's cool to give subscribers like a bonus. But the loud noise, the jarring, brain rot alerts is just, I don't get that. I'm not into that. I would like, why can't they have some nice, something that fades in that doesn't shock your senses? Why can't they fade in the music so it doesn't hurt your ears?
$20. If everything is so innocent like you're claiming, why do you have them signed?
NDA.
All right, so that's a good question. If everything is so innocent, why are you having them sign NDAs? And to play devil's advocate for a moment, they did not originally require NDAs. Stefan only began requiring the NDAs after he had the falling out with the former guests. NDAs, although they look suspicious, they're surprisingly common with streamers and celebrities and people who host private events like that. It's actually surprisingly common. So I don't think it's too sinister, but it does not look good. It's certainly not a good thing. That's where I'll stand on that. I don't think it's proves anything too terrible, but it's not a good thing. It's never a good thing if you need an NDA.
Yeah.
They were asking, why do I have people sign NDAs? I mean, I would be massively stupid if at this point I didn't have people sign NDAs. Everything is so public, everything is so blown out of proportion. that, like, it's my house. Well, if you don't want to sign an NDA, by all means, fuck off. Like many people, like many public figures have NDAs, like, even like celebrity events or whatever, you have to sign an NDA.
Shit, we got
So
NDAs
if
here,
anybody has
Stefan. Here in the LCU, we sign NDAs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. And NDAs are pretty common, so I don't think that automatically proves anything terrible. But still, it's not a good sign. And yes, Jizzo, as much as I'm always going to call out creepy, exploitative men, I'm not afraid to call out, anybody who's being a bad actor. And I don't want to criticize unnecessarily, but I do believe that the women involved in this situation, at some level, they must realize that Stefan's intentions are not entirely pure. Maybe he's able to mislead them at first, and maybe some of them did, make a mistake. They didn't realize what they were getting into. But it doesn't take very long to figure out what he's about. Maybe it's possible he might have gotten somebody to come over there without telling them the full story. But once you've been there for a little while, it's pretty clear what kind of a guy he is. It's pretty clear what kind of situation it is. And a lot of these women, maybe I shouldn't say a lot, but I'm aware that at least some of these women have a history in the sex work industry. So they are definitely experienced with what qualifies as a fetish and what qualifies as an inappropriate environment.
Yeah.
So if anybody has a problem with the if anybody has a problem with the LCU, it's a them problem. If anybody has a problem with an NDA, it's
exactly. And sorry for interrupting it again, but exactly, Marsha. That's why when that woman wrote that note saying that his place was like a family for her and the best place she'd ever been. The only person who would say that Stefan's house is the greatest place they've ever been and like a family for them, the only person who would say that, the only kind of person who would say that, is somebody who does not come from a good family. Nobody who comes from a good family is going to say that Stefan's harem is better than their real family. Yeah, so it's he definitely likes the porn and the big women. Stefan misleads about some things, but he's very straight up about that.
a them problem. You don't have to come. Like nobody's forced to be here. I did that because it was in the works for the longest time, and I always wanted to do it. But then Shay finally put her foot up my ass, and she said, "Absolutely not. Are you going to allow any more people to come to this house and then turn around and slander you? You need to bring that NDA up." So I got like a
it's a NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. It's basically a form that you sign, I guess a contract you would call it, where the person signing it is agreeing to not share information that they to share anything they witness or anything that they hear during the time specified in the agreement. So in his case, presumably, you would go there and you would sign a non-disclosure agreement that says you're not allowed to discuss anything that occurred in the property during the period of time you were staying there.
A lawyer, and like I put all the shit together, and I did some ChatGPT and all that kind of shit. You know what you do nowadays, right? And I had a lawyer verify it, and it's a very, very simple, very, very harmless NDA. It literally just tells people to not gossip.
Exactly. An NDA does not automatically mean something bad, but they can be misused
About private things that they see in this house, including other people. So I don't want somebody, case in point, I don't want somebody walk into this house and then see another person be intimate.
I'm trying to be serious tonight, but I mean, and to be fair, I said this earlier. There's going to be some serious talk going on tonight, but I do want to keep it light. Because God knows there's just so much depressing stuff in this world. I don't ever want to make light of a very serious, grave subject. But if I can bring a little bit of cheer and bring a little levity to an otherwise unpleasant situation, I think that's a good thing.
Somebody else or whatever, and then run all over the internet and gossip that. And to answer Fupa's question, I'm absolutely guilty of that. I'm not going to say I'm completely innocent. There has been so many times that there was beef and drama and gossip and people beefing and people having problems or whatever. And I'm very much guilty of that too. I've ran information to people because I thought it was funny. I've been a mean girl at times. You know, I can fully own that. Like sometimes
Good.
Okay, well, see, even fully own that. You're still not owning it fully because you're not acknowledging the disparity in power. And I don't like to dwell on that too much, but if Stefan gossiping is not the same as one of the women gossiping because he has all of the power here. So if he spreads a rumor about one of the women in the house, it carries a lot more weight than if one of them spreads a rumor about him. In fact, if one of them spreads a rumor about him, it might get them kicked out. And I'm not saying that, that one makes the other okay. Two wrongs don't make a right. It's one of my favorite expressions. But I will acknowledge that Stefan simply chalking it up and saying, well, I can be a little bit of a gossip. You have to be more responsible than that, Stefan. If you're going to claim this is like a family and you're at the head of that family, then you have an obligation to not gossip about your family.
I mean, good on you for admitting that.
Yeah.
Some people would deny that.
Oh,
so good on you
God,
for...
no. Like Fupa, if you would have actually lived here for like a month or two and you would have seen the shit that happens behind the scenes between the women, you would have probably like said, "Oh my fucking God!" Like what?
Stefan, is that an offer? Because Fupa loves French fries. She would have such a great time in Vegas.
I can be a little mean, and I'm usually pretty nice, but it's like I don't know. It's like I find some people like Foodie and Rosie. They just bring that mean side out of me.
But let me tell you this live on stream right now. If Fupa wants to come visit, she's invited. I have respect for her. Like Fupa, you had a negative opinion on me. You have an obligation in the show to be neutral and be respectful to everybody. Everybody gets a chance to talk. And the way that you've treated me, tech that you've treated me, how Keem has treated me, I said this from the beginning. Even if you think you're guilty, a judge can think that somebody's guilty, but the jury thinks they're not. It doesn't matter. Fupa has been very respectful. She's been open-minded. She's been willing to look at some of the...
In some ways, Stefan is a confusing character because he's very glib. He's very personable. He's very slick. He's like, some people have described him like a salesman or a lawyer. He's very disarming when he talks. But does that make him more dangerous? If he were very coarse and he were vulgar and he were rude, it would be harder for him to be successful operating this community. So I think that's something worth considering.
Things that I've said or showed her, that makes her, in my opinion, it makes her a very like respectful human being.
But
she's too small for him. She's got to put on at least 100 pounds.
by the way, to make it clear, Fupa does not have an obligation to be neutral. The only person that has an obligation to be neutral here is me. Okay, Foxy and Fupa were told your opinion. If you have an opinion, it's your opinion. Don't worry. If it's a bias, it's bias. If Fupa's treating you with respect,
He's gonna get the funnel.
it's because she's listening to your points, she's listening to other people's points, and she's making her own assessment. It's not because she was told to be neutral. So you're getting, this is genuinely her.
If you guys
Keem would prefer me to rip you a new asshole because he loves that type of shit. To be honest,
I am neutral because I need a guide. I need to make sure the show runs how it needs to run. But yeah, look, I want to say maybe we do a little trip. I'm from Vegas. I got family out there. I'm planning on going down there probably sometime next month. Maybe we do a little stream or something. But on to another topic that was made, and I want to make sure you get your point across on this.
Yes.
It was said that you incentivized or kind of like pushed on the idea of making content for a lot of the other people that showed up.
Yes, this is something that I, even though I had not heard this is something I suspected because this is very, very common. Women, when guys have women over living with them and they're running these kind of sex communities, there's usually some pimping going on as well. That's just how it is. It's not, glamorous thing to admit, but I'm not stupid. I like to believe things are more innocent than they are. I choose to not acknowledge the dirtiness of our world, of how things can be. I choose not to acknowledge how nasty things can be sometimes. But I've been around. I grew up in South Florida. I've, gotten in trouble. I've I went to public school. You know, I know what's up. And whenever you got a household full of women who have done sex work in the past, and there's a guy trying to make money off of them, it's pretty much inevitable that the sex work is going to become is going to be encouraged at some point in the future.
The women, you kind of motivated them to get into sex work or to start streaming on TikTok. And it didn't come off like it was malicious. Like, hey, this is like all you can fucking do, slut. You didn't say shit like that.
Alligator wrestling classes.
It was just, hey, you could probably be making some money doing this. You probably should explore it. Did you try and motivate people to get into content creation?
So this is a very sticky topic because it is put out there with a malicious intent, obviously with a negative spin on it. And I'm going to be as open and honest as I can possibly be. If somebody came to me and said, hey, you know, Cass is modeling online and this person is modeling online, you know, do you think that I could do that too? And I would say, yeah, I see potential. I look at you, you're beautiful. Like you're gonna have an audience. You're gonna have paying customers.
So he really is a pimp. That's exactly okay, because that's exactly what a pimp would say. Just being real.
And then I would always direct the girls to each other. Like I would say, oh, like if you want to know how to best run an OF or whatever, go to that person. They are successful.
Yeah. So you, as a experienced pimp would do, he's going to pair the newer girls with the ones who have experience in the industry, as like a mentor-apprentice relationship. This is not helping the allegations against you, Stefan.
Successful on OF. Like, you know, if you need a ring light, a computer, a camera, a tripod, I'm the guy. But like, and I'm also not gonna lie, I've been stunting for people. They asked me and said, hey, I don't want to do the risky shit and invite somebody over and they're being unsafe. I trust you. Like, would you be on camera with me? And I'm all.
Wow. So he's doing them a favor because he doesn't want them to have to take chances with risky, strange men. He wants them to be safe. So why don't you have me be your co-star when you record these videos? I think Fupa's face says it all right here. This guy's face too. Like, look at them. Like look, if you could see my face, I look kind of like this guy. Like, what the heck is he talking about? Like, you're basically confessing to pimping. Like, I don't know if this fits the legal definition, but this is what I would call pimping.
Always like, you know, I'm not good at performing on camera.
For those that don't know what this is, you're talking about being a stunt penis, right?
Yes,
a stunt
like
cock.
appearing in somebody's adult content, more or less. Usually, I ask them to not have my face in it. And like,
yeah, I graduated with honors. I'll have you know.
Didn't want my face blasted all over the internet in corn, but like, you know, there were some videos, like at the end I just didn't care anymore. I said, you know,
maybe
you have to film me, whatever. I even told people intentionally, I told them, if you want to film with me.
Hold on, did he say that he would film them? Let me rewind this real quick. I missed what you just said.
And like, I didn't want my face blasted all over the internet in corn, but like, you know, there were some videos, like at the end I just didn't care anymore. I said, you know, yeah, just film me, whatever.
I did want my face in corn, but at the end I just didn't care anymore. I said, you could just film me, whatever.
Told people intentionally, I told them, if you want to film with me, hide it, put a phone somewhere, hide it, don't tell me that you're recording, and come to me and, like, you know, approach me that, you know, I'm a funny guy. Like, I'm gonna say, like, hey, you want to meow at me?
Yeah.
Like, basically come to me and ask for intimacy, but don't tell me that you're recording it.
So he gets camera shy, in other words. Don't tell him that you're recording, because then he'll get nervous and he won't be able to perform. You got to kind of like, just don't tell him and surprise him, which is weird and awkward. It's like, don't get my consent. Don't get my consent, because when I give consent, it makes me feel weird.
Basically, make a sex tape of us without me knowing, because then I'm going to perform best.
Yeah, don't get my consent, because I don't function well when there's consent involved. Is that what he's saying?
Not knowing that there's a camera. If there's a camera in my face, I can't perform. So that's why this whole industry has never been for me. It's for me.
That's why the industry is not for him. Not because it involves exploitation. Not because you're producing material that can be harmful for some people. It's because he's shy on camera. That's why.
Adult intimacy is the ultimate connection of two people that want each other. Like this whole bullshit of like, you know, me, like this whole narrative of me pushing myself on anybody is like literally 180 degrees times 10 against my own personal, like how I work. Like I can't even have sex with somebody if I'm not feeling it coming back. Like I need to feel wanted. I need to feel like desired or whatever. Otherwise the shit just won't work. And the camera, the same thing. The pressure of the camera don't work for me.
You say that, but didn't you just say that you have these interactions on a Discord call with a bunch of people watching as well?
That was exciting, you know, and it was in the pool. It was in the pool. You couldn't see it. It wasn't like a porn. It was just in dim light, like, you know, like you could hardly see anything, but you could see there's two people. You could hear the noises of the water sloshing or whatever. You could see that there was sex happening, but it wasn't like porn. Like you could just see that there was something going on, and the people were egging us on.
So it was just really low quality camera work, in other words.
In the chat, they were saying like, "Ooh, like, you know, she's loud or whatever," you know, all this kind of shit, you know.
This is so disgusting, and I'm not, you know, and I can be a little prudish at times, but I hope I'm not the only one being disgusted here. The thought of Stefan and his you know, 600-pound hose doing sex tapes and people watching it live. Ugh.
And it was just a fun, very, very short, extremely short period, like maybe 3 or 4 days, and then we immediately curbed it. Like it was also like a learning period for me, a steep learning curve that, like, you know, if you put this on a Discord that has general access, you can't just do that because people were not.
And as much as I wanted to cover Rosie tonight also, I think that we're probably just going to, this is running so long, and I'm not going to be, I can only run so late tonight. I think we're just going to have to split it and cover the Rosie. I'm going to try to come in on this Saturday if I can. I'll try to do a bonus stream this Saturday.
Expecting that. The Discord in the beginning was not advertised as a safe space. The Discord was called SSBBW fan. And I say, hey, it's my platform. Come and hang out. And people immediately drove it into the ground. Like within a week, people, like, you know, Discord raids and attacks and harassing and bullying. And it was a very, very fast and hard lesson in, if you give people in the plus size community an open forum, an open platform, it's going to get ruined before.
Yeah, and also Foodie doesn't, you know, she's not very hygienic, which sounds like that would be an issue in this group's environment. And also Stefan, you know, he seems like a passionate lover. He's not going to be happy with a starfish. He's gonna want more of a red snapper
before it even starts.
Well, that's like that with a lot of communities. I mean, our ex-co-host has a Discord, and it's gone to complete shit very quickly.
True.
And the Discord itself, I could fill a whole 2 hours about the drama on the Discord, but I don't even want to get into it because I really like how you guys are doing the questions right now.
So do you think the NDAs have been effective in what you wanted them to do? Because obviously a lot of people have come out, some have signed NDAs, some haven't, and it seems that they really weren't effective at all.
I mean, because it was a transition period. Like, I think at this point, like, only 10 people signed it. And, you know, some people that should have signed it didn't because it was my fault. I just skipped on it. Like, the moment when, hold on.
Oh, shit.
I have the NDA folder here. The very first NDA was signed by Shay herself. I think 331 or something.
That is true, though. That is true. Foodie has done some corn.
In a filing cabinet.
It's very professional.
You have to. Sadly, you have to. On 3/22, March 22 was when the first NDA was signed.
This year?
I think Emily wants to go there too. Emily and Remy. This is like their fantasy. This is like, you know, Emily and Remy going to the Pearadise house would be like a normal guy going to the Playboy Mansion, or back, you know, 30 years ago at least.
This year, this year.
Okay, so
the idea of the NDA has been in the works for the longest time. My friend Rita told me back in 2020 I should not let people from TikTok enter my house without signing a strict NDA. I was too lazy. I didn't expect all this shit to happen. So I did not do it. Like, I just never really got to it. But then Shay was literally sitting here behind me, and she was saying, like, Stefan, have you gotten the NDA ready yet? Like, I'm ready to kick boots and, like, have people sign that shit. And so I did. Like, eventually got it all ready. And then Shay,
I thought it was going to be full of snacks and like that thigh chapstick that they use to stop the chub rub.
told me, like, house meeting, everybody come together, and she made everybody sign the NDA right here. And I mean, the NDA was never supposed to like silence anybody, because as we all know, properly educated people know that an NDA does not cover up crimes. If any crime in the house happens, please report it. Please report it. An NDA is not designed to cover up anything that is.
And I'm wondering how much do you charge for rent? Oh, they don't tell you the price you pay. Okay, thank you.
Like, that shouldn't be covered up. An NDA is mostly, as you guys know, because in this particular case, you guys are probably more educated than I am on this topic in the LCU. An NDA is designed to keep people from gossiping shit, from like, going out in public and disclosing private information about either the place, the space, the members of the community, or like, communal activities happening. It's also designed in my particular case.
Yes, I did see them dancing. It was so cringe. It was so cringe. I don't mean cringe in the sense like they were so authentic that it was cringe. I mean, it was cringe because it felt so put on.
It's also designed to protect people from gossiping about each other, not necessarily me.
Keemstar has talked about our NDA publicly before, what it involves. It's essentially, hey, this is the mechanics of how doing this type of live stream works. This is like, how money works. This is how this is. And that's part of the NDA. That's it. That's like what our NDA is, mainly to stop, people from propagating the
instead of baby oil, they're using fupa grease.
Tips to the trade. Another question about the NDA, probably the last one I have on it, is have you ever had to enforce an NDA? And is there any way someone could get out of the NDA from you?
No and no.
No and no.
Like the answer to both questions is no. Like if you've been to my house and you've stayed here and you signed this NDA, you're bound to it. Like, and I'm not intending on enforcing it on anybody because I'm not that kind of asshole. But I'm expecting people to be just reasonable and respectful enough to know that they signed a legal document.
I think that part of the problem with the NDA, and I'm not an expert on law, but from my understanding, I think an NDA, I mean, I actually know it doesn't, never mind. That my point didn't even make sense. But I do think that part of the issue that he's having is that he didn't really want to go to court. He just wanted people to stop talking about him. So he was hoping that just making them sign the paper would be enough. He didn't actually think this through all the way.
And that they know that this basically prevents them, because it specifically mentions like disclosing private information on social media or in public. Everybody has their experiences. And again, I'm repeating myself here, sadly. If anything ever illegal happened, please go to the cop shop. Anybody that signed this NDA, I would never want anybody to think that I'm trying to silence people. But after everything that's happened, and people quite literally running political campaigns against me, like I have to. Like there was no more. There was just, I was out of options at this point. Like if you come to my house, you got to respect me, and the legal way.
That's the weekly shopping list for all the girls.
To respect somebody is making them sign an NDA.
The grocery shopping list.
What is your response to, I believe it was Paola that said that you would frequently go through Cass's phone?
Of course, Paul would say that.
And she also said that you would listen in on conversations that were happening through the cameras, or you would request that they have certain discussions in a particular room that did have a camera so you could listen in. What is your response to that?
Actually, let me get this horse from the back. I've told people to have discussions in rooms where there's no cameras. I told them, if you want to have a private discussion, please go there or here where there is no recording. So I told people if you want like the ultimate private phone call, that's the area where there's no recording of any kind. And as when it comes to listening in, that's kind of like a sticky topic, because there was times when the girls.
Yeah, I would agree, but ever since they started making the Viagra and the Blue Chew. Speaking of Blue Chew, on Twitch, where I watch sometimes, they were always advertising this stuff called Blue Chew, and it's basically like Viagra, but it's like you chew it instead. It's like gum or a lozenge or something. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's basically like a Viagra that you eat.
were all outside in the smoking area, like 6 or 7 of them, and I was working. I was sitting here working. So I would have the camera panel up just to keep to be part of it, but not be part of it. Call it like FOMO. I had to work, but I wanted to see what's going on. And so, yeah, sometimes I would have the camera up, but they knew, like I told them, it was never a secret. It wasn't like, oh guys, you talk about sticky topics right now. Like, I'm not going to be listening.
Well, in fairness, if he said up front, hey, could we talk about this on camera so we can get a record of it? I don't think it's a little odd, but I don't think there's anything sinister in that. If he was recording them without their knowledge, that would be different. But if he was telling them, hey, I want to get this on record, could we say this where we have the cameras so we can get a record of this? If he's being upfront, I don't think that's too terrible.
And then I'm going to be listening in, right? But the whole bullshit about going through people's phones is like, Cass and I dated. We both had the passwords to each other's phones. We showed each other shit. Like, it's the same thing that happened with Shay. When we're not dating. Okay, sorry, this is a little bit different. Shay and I were like really, really close, as in we talked about everything, like no holds barred, nothing. Like, we talked about literally everything. And there was multiple times that Shay literally came to me with her phone, handed me her phone, and said, "Hey, I want you to read this. What do you think?" Or I have this tablet right here that has access to the camera system. And Shay would sit back here behind me, and she said, "Hey, something happened, something, whatever. Can I look it up?" And I would
wants to make sure they're not turning tricks without telling him. He wants a cut of every trick they turn.
just hand her the tablet, unsupervised, and she could go through the tablet basically. And my entire message history is on here. And I trusted her.
Yeah.
Oh, and let me take a moment here also. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the channel members. Thank you so much for your memberships. Very much appreciated. And I'd like to take a moment to single out the Tier 2 channel members, Canada Cool and Glitterfile69. Your Tier 2 channel membership entitles you to an individualized shout out every weekly episode. I would also like to take a moment to shout out all of the chatters, all of the lurkers, everybody watching the replay. If you are enjoying this show, it costs absolutely nothing to share a link, and that helps out the channel tremendously. So if you have social media, share that link and let somebody know that you have terrible taste in entertainment. You watch crap like this.
When it comes to like the whole going through people's phones, it's another thing that's like, obviously as part of the personal beef, slander, and revenge campaign is going to be blown up to a point. Like, I never went maliciously to anybody's phone. I've seen text messages. Yes, I've seen private text messages from people.
Stefan,
Sometimes I've even seen, yeah.
I understand the dynamic. If you're in a relationship, you kind of are more open about the stuff that you have on your phone. I've never had an issue with my partner looking through my phone, but that's me. And every relationship's different. Every relationship has different boundaries. So I mean, if that boundary was set and it was understood that that's fine, it's no issue. It is what it is. Are you okay with some more, let's call them funny questions, more like, haha, look, we're content creators, to kind of like take a break from the drama,
Lighten the mood a bit.
Okay, perfect. This is a perfect way to end it for the night. Then this is going to be a good last segment.
Bring it on, Tech. Bring it on.
Are you sure?
Let's close it out with some fun.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
You guys made a whole AI song, the intro for the show.
They made that the first day. They were like, "Oh, Stefan, I'm making this right now." It was with one of our guys, Dieter. He's in the community.
We have people in the Discord that will just make us stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. Send it to us.
So one of the questions I have from someone on my Docta team, it was, can you ask Stefan who his favorite person to have sex with was or is?
That's is anybody? Oh, let me close out the poll. If you haven't voted, too late now. I'm closing it out. And I want to know what you folks have the answer for that. Who do we enjoy having the sex with the most? Okay, so I just closed out the poll. Which of Rosie's laws sends you the most? 34% of you said her autism saga. 28% of you said groomed into feederism. 23% said how she was medically kidnapped. And 15% of you said how she can't afford healthcare because she lives in Florida. I think that's a pretty even split. And I think that it makes sense because really all four of these are pretty awful. So let me put back the Pearadise tab.
It was, can you ask Stefan who his favorite person to have sex with was or is?
I'm
Who's his
not going to say
favorite?
that on stream
Ah,
because I would never compare women to one another. That just creates
Oh, why does it have to be a woman?
a toxic dynamic. I've been asked that question before on another live stream. It was called the hot seat back on Instagram, and there are some questions that I will just politely decline because it would.
It makes sense.
I wouldn't want to be compared to other people either because every person is a complete individual. Let me just say this, intimacy with 10 people is going to feel 10 ways different. You can't really like compare. You can say like, hindsight, you can say, okay, this one was kind of like a waste, I could have skipped that one.
He's talking about foodie.
And this one was good. I want it again, But me sitting here and telling you like who's my favorite, I'm just not going to do that respectfully.
No, I understand. Do you have a funny question, Fupa?
Who's been the biggest person you've been with?
Who?
What?
I can't tell you the name, but there's been somebody over 700 pounds.
Wow. Wow. Are we sure that Rosie hasn't visited him? Are we? I mean, because that does kind of call it into question. I mean, right?
And I had no problems.
Did they sit on
You were able to find the wet spot. Congratulations.
you? Like, did they like ride you?
No, like all like front, back in the pool, like it all works if you know what you're doing.
Wow. This guy is either very wise, or he's very athletic, or he's just very persistent.
It works.
I'm interested of the physics of that, but okay.
Oh God, here we go.
Tina D.
Yo, this man needs to put a fucking label on his channel. You know what it should be, Tech? Captain Save a Cow.
Captain Save a Cow. Okay. By the way, Stefan, this is Tina D, legend.
I know. I met her.
Okay.
I met her. NVC.
Oh man, Tina. Okay, I'm getting sleepy, but I'm gonna stay on just long enough. Tina's segment lasts. Oh crap, it's really long. All right, you know what? Actually, this segment's like we're just gonna do a little bit of an intro to it, and then we're gonna kind of wind it down because I am getting a little sleepy.
Many, like multiple times, she was in the VC when I was in here on the Discord. Yep, she's a hoot.
She's a hoot.
I mean, just think about it, Tech. These motherfucking women have all these fucking claims, right? But check it out.
Language warning, of course.
Where else could you find Hugh Hefner? Where else? He's dead, right? So he's the Hugh Hefner of the heifers. So he's gonna.
He's Hugh Heifer. Huge heifer.
Branding device and take it and brand all these big fucking cows. So that he has law and order.
He's got it branded with the Pearadise logo.
Tina, would you be interested in checking out Pearadise with me next month?
I don't weigh enough. I mean, I weigh 217. That's not enough. He likes to be 700 and above.
217. Tina, good job.
Yes.
Good. Congrats.
Yeah.
She's too small for him.
That's nice.
Can I call you skinny? I can call you skinny.
No, they ain't gonna call me toothless. Hey, Poopa, how's this going over here, Connie Chung in the making?
He puts it on the end of a stick, and he just kind of does it like a spear.
I thought you guys are running a news fucking team over here, and it's been pretty fucking boring. What's going on here?
I mean, we are basically investigative journalists at this point.
You guys suck. You ain't investigating shit. You're just
We're doing
nosy
great.
motherfuckers. You guys are nosy motherfuckers. That's all there is to it.
Nosy for
We
sure.
are very nosy. Yes.
I did want to show Tina, if you want to react to these with us.
Yeah.
The community has sent
Let's
me
do
over some fan photos.
I know you're absolutely inconsolable, Nutty. I know you're crying over there. I'm sorry. Let's get some hearts in the chat for Nutty. I know she's broken up.
Some fan pictures. Here's one. Stefan, 0 days without thinking about fat women.
It's not showing.
You don't see it if you hit share. Watch
Oh
the,
wait. Oh, I'm so silly. I need to click because I'm on Discord.
There
Okay.
you go. Here's one. Of
Oh
the
my
photos.
Lanta. Yeah. Come on. I can vibe with that one. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's
Yes.
here's another one. Top 10 things to do in Paradise. Number 1, leave. It's the fat
Yeah.
woman.
Oh, we have a running joke. K-Bug always says, this is going to be reason 356 why I left Paradise. It's a running joke here.
I don't know what's so paradise about staying at your house and having.
Welcome in, Ross. Gin, 1711. Hopefully you're having a great, 1171, excuse me. Welcome in. I believe you're a new face. I've not seen you before, so welcome in. Glad to have you, friend.
Pay for my own fucking food and get fucking liver disease and 600 pounds more when I leave there. What's so fucking great over there?
The
You
second.
get,
have
you get fed. You get to eat.
Well,
You
I
have
can
to
eat at
ask-
home, motherfucker. He
There's
don't
a
feed him.
poll.
He don't feed these numbers. They can feed him.
he also has apparently a good penis for showbiz. If you wanted to film content with him, Tina.
Okay, dial a cock. Got it.
There you go.
I'm writing it down now.
Thank
Dial a
you.
cock.
Here's the next one. Stefan, I didn't touch that fat woman.
Why? You got a blowjob from that big bitch, and she
Wait.
put it in her closet, motherfucker.
I need to clarify that one though.
Yeah.
I never said I didn't touch them. I only said I didn't SA them.
True. It was consensual.
Well, wait.
That's such a. I mean, it's an important distinction, but it's one I hope I never have to make.
Wait, hold on a minute. Did they ask you to slap their ass? And did they ask
Everybody
you to
slapped.
fucking
Everybody
kiss
slapped
their
each
dick?
other's ass. Nobody
Ooh.
asked anybody.
You're on the right path, Tina. There was not a direct
Uh-huh.
ask of it. It was just kind of the vibe.
Right.
Remember that song? There was that song like in the 2000s. I don't remember who sang it. It was like the guy would sing, "I love the way you smack my ass." That was a song on the radio. It was so silly that that was the actual lyrics of a song. You'd say, "I love the way you smack my ass." That was a song on the radio. It was hilarious. I used to crack up every time I heard it.
Yes.
Which, by the way,
So I,
That's
did
what
not,
he used to
I
do
never
that.
said. Listen, I never said I
Would you
didn't
ever
touch them.
slap someone's ass, Tina?
No, no, fuck no. I don't believe in that shit, bro. No means fucking no. But I might give him a reach around if the money's right.
that's
But
our,
you would
that's our
ask.
Tina.
You would ask them before you did a little reach around.
Absolutely, 100%.
Tina would get
I'm
it in
gonna-
writing and with an NDA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm gonna get a notary, 100%.
Why
I mean,
can't we
we're-
get this Tina on Queens? Tina, you've been invited to Queens.
This is
I'm on Queen.
she. That's her
My
show.
That's for sure.
Here's the
No,
last one I have for y'all.
Ooh, look at that
Stefan.
fat, juicy woman.
Look at them fat, juicy women.
That's how I look at French fries. To be fair.
You guys
I mean-
use butter for KY jelly? I mean, what do you use when you're fucking a fat chick?
Thank you, Tina.
The problem is that the girls, they ate all the KY jelly. They put it on bread. They didn't realize they got it confused.
Bacon grease.
That question's for you, Stefan. What lubricant do you use for sex with a fat person? She wants to know if you use butter.
I can't believe it's not butter.
That's margarine.
Bacon grease.
This is not my question. This is Tina's question.
That's my question. Listen to
Just-
Stefan. Stefan,
just
you
some
want to
regular-
get these people to be healthy. Listen here,
just some
German
regular
guy.
shit.
I get it. Hold on a minute. Why would you want fat fucking women to fucking not know their worth by getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until they fucking explode? That's not somebody who cares about somebody. You know fat kills, motherfucker.
And I don't make people bigger.
No, but you sure the hell make it comfortable with ho-hos and shit around.
Oh, Tina. Oh, this is, you know what? This is a real, we're going to cover a little bit. I'm going to pick this right up here because this is so, I'm so glad she's pointing this out because I feel like Stefan, he's gotten a lot of criticism for his sexual behavior, his lustful and inappropriate behavior, but he's not gotten enough pushback for his feederism.
Your house, what the fuck?
What do you expect me to do? Force people to lose weight?
No, tell them to get the fuck out of here, bro. You got a fat farm going on. Is that legal?
Well, as far as I'm looking at it, as far as I'm looking at it, it's all adults. It's all consenting adults, and like,
Why is everybody fighting stuff on if it's all adults?
Yeah, she's got a dirty mouth.
why is everybody fighting?
With you, yes, sir.
I mean, ask them. Power is
Better than critical reach arounds.
I'm not gonna listen, these bitches are big pork chop eating motherfuckers. I'm not worried about how they spread their applesauce, but check it out. I've never had anybody fight over me, and I'm a little jealous, but you got two big fat fucking elephants. I hope you got enough peanuts to feed these bitches, because you got a hell of a circus going on in your fucking camp there.
I mean, I know this is Lolcow, but like on my stream, for example, I would boot you out of the box right now for body shaming.
for body shaming. Oh, now this is what I can't stand when he gets all self-righteous like this. Stefan, you don't have any, you have no right to be so self-righteous.
Oh, well, you know what? I wouldn't give a fuck, because guess what? Lucky for you, it's not. That's why we want y'all to carry your dumb shit back over in your own fucking
Peace
body.
and love in the
Shutting off the music for a second here.
And 89 cents. Tina done more in 5 minutes than this whole investigation. Smiley face emoji.
I'm here
To be fair, she's the only person who's willing to address the feederism. Everybody else is addressing the sexual misconduct. Nobody's acknowledging the possibly the bigger issue.
to help my people. The
Thank
LCU. Let me tell you something.
Tina.
You can boot me anywhere you want to, but the thing about me is I'm not a fat bitch. I boot back. Okay? I'll peg you in the ass with my screw. Hold on a minute, Peck. I know it's your show, but check this out.
You're good.
LCU, you know why we go to fat camp? Because he doesn't want us to be obese.
Welcome in, Kari Love. Thank you for coming by. Hopefully you're having a great night. I do not recognize your name, so if this is your first time here, welcome in. Glad to have you.
And fall asleep and have heart attacks.
I'm actually going to be winding it down pretty soon, but hey, I'll be here next week.
Shit, bro. You're doing the exact opposite of what Keemstar is doing. You want them to get bigger and bigger and bigger until they go, and he wants us to get smaller so we can have something to live for.
I don't.
Fucking makes no sense to me, bro.
Stefan, I will say, I don't know if Tina remembers this. The first time I met Tina was over a year ago. And she,
Yes.
the first 5 words she ever spoke to me, ever, I still remember them, and I've never said this, but the first 5 words was, "Who is this fat fuck?" That's the first thing she's ever said to me, meeting her for the first time.
What a course.
My-
And I'm a fat fuck too, so one fat fuck can call another one a fat fuck, motherfucker. Get a fat
My-
fuck, get a phone. Don't
my
get a
whole-
fuck, call you on the phone.
My whole intention with running Paradise
Yeah,
was
some people kind of go a little too far. They kind of swing, overcorrect a little bit, but I still think it's better than being heavy, at least. But yeah, I agree. It seems like maybe she's gone a little too far.
like going live on TikTok with like, bringing awareness exactly against this behavior. Like I hate it, and it makes me fuming mad when people body shame people like mindlessly because you didn't do anything to any.
I'm gonna say, and just I think, just speaking as a fellow man, Stefan, I think the reason why you're against so-called body shaming, the only reason, well, maybe not the only, but the main reason you're against so-called body shaming is because you have a sexual interest in keeping these women as big as you can, getting them as big as you can get them, keeping them big. So-called body shaming, which is typically just focusing on health, is going to impact your sexual thrills. You don't get you don't get off the same way if those women aren't as big. So this, quote, body shaming could reduce your sexual thrills. That's the only reason well, I shouldn't say the only, but that's the main reason you're against it.
If somebody calls you fat tick, it's like they're judging you on a visual impression. They don't even know your character at all, and I find it mind blowing. Like literally right up there with racism when people do that. Like, what gives anybody the right to body shame somebody or talk shit about somebody just for their appearance? Like, that's the problem with society.
Right?
What gives them the right? What gives you the right to say that they're not allowed to have an opinion? Nobody's saying that they have a right to berate anybody, but people have a right to their own opinion. Nobody's forcing somebody else to listen. They're not shouting it in their ear or anything like that.
The fucking country does. Our country, freedom of speech.
Yeah, Stefan, go back to Germany if you don't like it.
That's what gives us
yeah.
the right to speak on it. That's what the fuck. We
And
got
that's
our
the
rights,
problem.
man.
That's the problem. That's the problem. No, all right. You know what? I already had an issue with Stefan. But if that's the problem, Stefan, the problem is that you're still in this country when you need to get the F out.
Problem that people feel entitled.
You don't respect our way of life here, Stefan. You need to get going.
To randomly hate and shame people when they are people too.
Well, so
Okay, Stefan. Well, if you want us to respect your opinion, you need to respect our culture.
Any idea, do you have any idea at all what it does to somebody's mental health?
Yeah, I do, motherfucker. It's been done to me for years. Slow your fucking roll, Four Eyes. Don't act like I'm fucking doing something that ain't been done to me, motherfucker.
So you're basically just hurting people back because you got hurt before.
Who am I hurting? Who am I calling fat? Did I say a name?
You're body shaming.
You're body shaming in general. Stefan is okay. Stefan is dug himself a hole on this one, and this is a perfect cliffhanger, I think, to let it go, because I am pretty sleepy. I did not sleep well last night, and I really need to hit the sack. So everybody, thank you. You've been a fantastic audience. The show went a little bit, I ended up with spending a little more time on this segment than I planned, but I don't regret it. I think it was ultimately for the best. I think this was a really good segment. And hopefully, I will be able to come back this Saturday with a bonus stream for you folks, because I have a lot more content I want to cover. That Rosie stream from 2 days ago, I spent like over at least a half hour preparing, like taking down notes and stuff. So I definitely need to do that. Worst case scenario, I'll record a video and post that. But I mean, I'm probably just going to do a live at some point. Very welcome, Nirvana. Everybody have a great night. Good night, Marsha. Good night, Glitter Files. Good night, Kari. That's right. Got to respect. You know, if you can't respect our rights, then what are you doing here, Stefan? Good night, everybody. Good night, Nutty. And let me see if anybody's streaming real quick. Maybe I could send you some folks somewhere. No, I don't see anybody right now. Not anybody that I know, at least. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming by.